Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me again. Today, I'm going back to, I guess, a dip pen, something that I had purchased some time ago. I just never really had a chance to use it, and I gotta admit, I've been actually quite excited and looking forward to try it out. It is a dip pen set, I guess you can call it, from Sailor from all places, and it's named Hocoro. Hopefully, I am saying the name correctly. It has a set of three fountain pen nibs for a change. It starts with a fine nib, and then it has something like a 2 millimeter stub, and then an foot nib, fine foot nib. As an odd thing, and I believe this is done by design based on how I see the holders, the fine nib, which has the blue color around it, doesn't have a feed for whatever reasons, which is very odd. But the green color and the yellow color, which are the stub and foot nib respectively, they do have a feed attached to them. I guess the thinking is that the feed can actually act as a reservoir of some sorts, specifically for these nibs because they will tend to use a little bit more ink. I really like the setup, like the little stand where you have all the three, I guess, nibs sitting in there. It's actually pretty cute and does the job very well. And the holder, the way it's built, you can actually, as the nibs are inside that stand, you can put the holder in and you will automatically pick up the nib. And the other thing, the way the holder is designed, you can actually have these nibs. Basically, you pull them out and then you reverse them, and you can put them inside the holder with the nib inside the holder, and you can transport them like that. This way, it will protect the nib. I do like that a lot. I actually purchased a separate holder from the standard one that comes with this set. It seems that one is a little bit more ergonomical. I'm not gonna use it for the drawing for today, but I'm planning to use it in a future video maybe. And for today's video, I guess I'll be using the holder that came with the set, and the fine nib is basically the nib that doesn't have an actual feed attached to it. I'm not sure. Before I started the video, I wasn't exactly sure how well it will work. I was actually skeptical, and at the beginning when I tried to use it, the ink wasn't actually clinging onto the nib, so it kind of scared me. I went ahead and I actually used a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to try and clean it in case there was any oils on it, and that seemed like it actually worked. Then I realized that where I was putting the ink in that tiny little cup that I have from a different glass dip pen didn't have enough ink in there. You kind of have to submerge the whole nib in ink. So I filled up that little cup. Speaking of ink, I didn't want to use India ink now with these fountain pen nibs because I don't know how badly it will go for them and how badly it will go clog them, and I wasn't sure how well the ink will flow with these type of nibs. So I decided to use the Noodler's black ink, a bottle of ink that I've been having in my collection for more than 4 years now, and is barely a quarter down, so quite a lot of ink to use. and I keep on forgetting about it. And since I decided to use an actual fountain pen ink, I wasn't sure how well it'll work with the water, so my drawing for today was actually broken down into two parts. I did my sketch one night and then waited 24 hours to give a chance for the ink to actually quote unquote cure or dry properly before using water. Because I know that Noodler's Black, yes, it is a sort of a waterproof ink, it still has some small issues. It will still basically wash away a little bit. So I wanted to give it as much of a chance to dry properly. With the ink aside, like I mentioned, when I started drawing with it, I didn't expect it much. I thought I might be disappointed by it, but to my surprise, after cleaning the nib and filling up that cup properly, the ink actually clinged onto the nib quite well. And while it doesn't have a feed attached to it to hold in more ink, even the nib by itself seems to hold quite a lot of ink. I never been annoyed that I had to dip back into the little cup. So to my surprise, very pleasant to work with, and it worked pretty damn well. The fine nib was perfect for my needs and how I usually like my lines. The only, I guess, thing that I did not like that much about it is that I wish the holder, that plastic barrel, would be a little bit longer. It felt at points, especially when I'm trying to do the very loose lines, it felt a little bit too short the way I was holding it. As you'll probably see me, I hold it kind of under my pointy finger in there. It doesn't actually sit on it, and at times I did find it a little bit annoying, and it did put a little bit of stress on my thumb. After a while, it started to hurt a little bit because of how I was holding it. But if you would use it for writing and other things, not necessarily loose drawings, I think it would work pretty darn well. And I'm actually looking forward to try the other holder. Hopefully it will work a little bit better for me with the other fooder nib. That's the one that I want to try. Because it's still a fine, so in theory I should be able to use it on reverse for the fine lines. But when I'm trying to fill in areas, I should be able to use the fooder side. I don't think I'm gonna do it next week. Next week I'm actually planning to do something else. I'm kind of gonna go back to the cold press vintage tone paper that I've been using last year a lot and the previous year. I have a specific plan. More about it though next week. This week though, today's drawing was actually a quite relaxing. Like I said, I was very pleasantly surprised by the nib. It's kind of, I mean, I didn't got the fine lines that I usually get from the regular dip pen nibs, but it was fine enough. At times, it actually felt like I was using a fountain pen. And speaking of the drawing, no plans. I actually end up with something that I don't even know what to call it. I started from the top and I was planning to go down. And, I kind of did my usual random lines and trying to grow from a certain point and see what I'm gonna go with it. Didn't really think much about it. In the end, turned out to be maybe a sort of a dragon, maybe. I don't know. What do you think it looks like? I like to call it. It's a hay dragon, and its enemies, its worst enemies, are horses and cows, because they do eat hay. Ink colors that I use for the washes, I decided to stick with the basically blues, greens, and the yellow / orange, with a splash of pink for the eye, and obviously a lot of basically splashes with the ink in order to give it more volume and hopefully more interesting look, I guess. I did use a little bit of the black ink at the bottom, just again doing some splotches in there to try and darken it a little bit. So the idea was lighter at the top, I guess, towards the sky, and darker towards the bottom. No defined body on the last on the creature, but I kind of like the shadings. It's like it's a combination of maybe a dragon and maybe a body of a bird like. Anyway, an odd creature, which is kind of on point with my stuff. Yeah, not much else to say. Very pleasant set to use. I'm extremely happy. I decided to purchase this, and I'm extremely happy even more that I finally decided to use it, or I have the time for it to use it. I believe you can buy the nibs separately, so you don't have to buy it as a set. So, but you'll probably have to buy the nib and the holder separate. I don't know if they come as a set of one nib and one holder. I didn't look into it. I bought this set from eBay. I believe I paid like anywhere somewhere between 60 to 70 Canadian dollars, plus I guess whatever I had to pay for customs and fees and all that stuff. I don't remember. Like I said, I purchased it like a year ago or something like that. Definitely recommend it if you are into this kind of stuff. They're fun to use. And yeah, I think I'm getting to the end here, and I guess I'll be stopping. Definitely recommend it. I love it. And I love the drawing that I got with them today. Anyway, thanks for joining for today. I guess I'll see you next time. And until then, I wish you nothing but the best and a wonderful day or night, whatever you are. Take care. Bye.